नहीं चाहिए, उसे अधिकार चाहिए। और मुझे
थैंक यू,
सरकार ये 50% का जो मर्यादा
धन्यवाद, धन्यवाद।
पूरे देश का जो ओबीसी है, पिछड़ा है,
श्री विनय विश्वम, नॉट प्रेजेंट। श्रीमती वंदना चौहान।
So on behalf of the Nationalist Congress Party, I stand to support the 127th Constitutional Amendment Bill. So as per para 4 of the Statement of Objects and Reason, the government has brought in this constitutional amendment to adequately clarify that the state government and the union territories are empowered to prepare and maintain their state and union territory lists of the SEBCs. So this has come after the Supreme Court judgment which held that the powers of the state and union territories have been denuded, and then after the passage of the 102nd Amendment. So there are two questions which come to my mind, and I would like to put forward here with the limited time that I have. So question one is, which many of the members have also asked, could we or should we not have incorporated this so-called adequate clarification in the 102nd Amendment itself? So the adamant stand of the government at that time in the committees and in the House has shown us this result. So unfortunately, in Maharashtra, I have to say that this blatant, adamant attitude of the government cost us a lot. So we saw disharmony, unrest, state of confusion, protest, rallies, spate of litigations and blame games, and then lakhs of youngsters who became a part of this protest have been unfortunately affected with long-term implications. Sir, we belong to the highest lawmaking body. Our role, sir, here is to legislate, to enact laws, not just enact laws, but good laws, sound laws. And to have a sound law, it is necessary that it is easy to understand, it is clear in its content and intent, it is unequivocal, and it is unambiguous. Let us ask ourselves, sir, whether 102nd Amendment of the Constitution passed this test. So unfortunately, when this 102nd Amendment was passed, we saw members of the community going helter and skelter, pillar to post, to find out the interpretation of this law. Why common people? People like us also went to legal experts to find out what is the interpretation. And not just this, this is again endorsed by two judgment of the Supreme Court, which shows a divided house. Sir, who is responsible for this? The question which comes to my mind, was it incompetent drafting of the government, by the government rather? Was this insensitivity to the issue? Or was it a deliberate step to seed unrest so as to wean away a large chunk of the population from the real issues that emanate from false promises given by this government? Employment, price rise, and several other issues. So the second question I want to put forth is, by passing this amendment bill, will we be able to do justice to the people who are anxiously waiting for it? And the answer is a clear no. Sir, we are all aware, which Abhishek Manu Singhvi sir also has mentioned, that most and almost all of the states have already got a quota of more than 50%. So in effect, this bill is giving us the power to make the list, but unfortunately without any action. So what is the use of this kind of a bill? If the government is really keen, sir, on doing justice, it will have to, one, iron out the hurdles created by Indira Soni's judgment. Two, the government will have to compile an empirical data of people seeking reservations, that too without disturbing the present reservation, and will have to work out a formula with consensus of the states. Number three, the concepts of the geographical test for far-flung and remote areas and the social test for deprivation of mainstream as a criteria to fall under the exceptional category in the Indira Sani's case, sir, will have to be revisited. We have to be mindful of the fact, sir, that India is a fast urbanizing country. People from remote and far-flung areas are migrating into cities in search of livelihood. They settle in illegal and vulnerable settlements, and still they are identified as a deprived lot. So is this lot not going to be taken in account by the Indira Sahni's case? And last, the fourth point, we will also have to consider that the minorities, the Muslims and others will also be taken care of while developing this formula, so as to maintain a judicious balance. So my last conclusion is I support the bill, but I condemn that it is not in the form which would assure justice to the people or the class of citizens that it is meant for. Thank you.
थैंक यू वंदना जी। संजय सिंह जी, आपको बोलना था, लेकिन वासन जी का अपॉइंटमेंट है डॉक्टर के यहाँ, तो उन्होंने रिक्वेस्ट किया है, अगर इफ यू अलाउ, वासन जी ने रिक्वेस्ट किया है कि उनका 3 बजे एक डॉक्टर का उसके बाद श्री जी के वासन जी।
Sir, I rise to support the Constitution 127th Amendment Bill to give back the powers to the states to make